All right, so we're in the month of July now, so now I'm going to take some time to look back to the games that I've played during the month of June and kind of tell you about the top nines that I've got to play with. So let's have a look at the stats first. I played 44 times with 21 different games, all at home still, but now actually as of July 1st, we're allowed to have indoor gatherings, so I'm playing with more players and in other locations. Oh, and then 6% of the base collections got played. So let's have a look at what number 9 was. So number 9 is Formula Motor Racing, which is a card game made by Rainer Knizia. It's a car racing game, so it actually comes, everybody has two little race cars, and I'll show you what those look like. So everybody has two little race cars, and when you first get them started, whoever's in the middle will have their cars together, and then this second one that's drawn or drafted, I guess, goes one in front, one in back, and so on until the first player is going to be one all the way in front, one all the way in back. And then you have the cards that you'll be playing that'll move the cars around. So if you look there, the yellow card that'll overtake 4 spaces. So you select one of the yellow cars, they'll move up 4 spaces, and the car that's right behind it will draft along and move those 4 spaces as well. So it kind of makes it a very interesting game. There'll be some cars that will kind of, you roll a dice and one of the cars is going to go for a pit stop and is going to be slowed down some, or one might spin off or so on. So you play until you've gone through the whole deck, and then the race ends, and then you score positions. Then you go to the next round and you do this. I think it's three laps, I guess, like what you would call it, 3 laps. And whoever has scored the best is the winner. Here's a closer look at the little race cars. Are super cute. This is one we've enjoyed quite a bit, hence why it's number 9. So let's have a look at number 8. And for number 8, I have Silver and Gold. Silver and Gold is a flip and write game. So you flip cards and then you'll be writing. Actually, you write directly on the card with a dry erase marker. Feels kind of wrong at first, but they wipe off. And then you're kind of covering portions of the map. And when you kind of cross off a coin, then you get to score the coin. When you complete a map, then that goes aside and you get to score that map as well. There's palm trees that's going to give you different points as well. It's a very neat, quick playing game that is always well received. Now looking for number 7, and for number 7 we have Castle Panic. And actually in the month of June it was me and my son Patrick that played this one, and we played it with the Wizard Tower expansion, and it was an epic game. This is a cooperative game, so everybody plays together. You have your castle in the middle, and you have monsters that moves its way from the outer ring, which is a forest, moving its way towards the castle. When they reach the castle, if they haven't been destroyed and reached the wall, they can destroy your wall, and then if they still have life, I guess, or health, they'll keep going in and destroy your towers as well. The goal is to destroy all the monsters that are in the bag before you run out of towers. This one, because one of the token you can pull out of the bag is draw 3 extra monsters. And then when I did that, I pulled out another token that was draw 4 extra monsters. So we had 7 monsters on top of the 2 that I had to draw. So that was 9 monsters in one round. And things were looking pretty grim. We ended up winning with only 1 tower remaining. But it was a neat game. This is one that was probably one of the first co-op I played. And it was one that my kids really enjoyed as well, and we went out and made sure we got our own copy of this one. So then for number 6, we played Las Vegas Royale. And actually my mom and my stepdad came over, and they're not board game players, but they're a fan of going to Vegas, so I thought they would enjoy this one, and they did. And what's neat with this one is in this game you have the 6 different sides, and each side represents a casino, and there's 2 prizes at each of those locations. The prizes will go anywhere from like $20,000 to $100,000. And it's an area control game. You roll all your dice and you select one number. So if you select 3, then you have to take all of those dice that are showing a 3, and you put them in the 3 spots, and that's how much control you have over that spot. At the end of the round, once all the dice have been placed, whoever has the most control wins first place. Whoever has second most control gets second place, so the second highest price. But if you tie with another player, then none of the tie player scores, and it goes to the next person. So this one is really neat. Now I've also introduced the golden dice variation that my friend had showed me with this one. So with the golden dice is when you roll the golden dice, that golden dice will remove a dice from the location. So if you were picking 3 and you had 3 dice, let's say, and a golden dice that had a 3 on it as well, so you're going to move those dice to the 3 location. You put your 2 dice, and if there was another dice there, you can actually remove one of your opponent's dice. So that kind of gives it a bit of a neat twist, and we almost always plays with this, but it can create a lot of take that. So it's not for everybody, I would say. And then for number 5, we played Tiny Epic Western. This one's kind of neat. You kind of set up the cards on the board, and the board kind of creates a wagon wheel a little bit. So definitely is very thematic. Then there's a strong poker component to it. So it's a worker placement. You put your workers on different spots, and then depending on who controls one spot, at the end, you're going to get bonus opportunities there if you win the poker hand. And it's a 3-card poker, kind of plays like poker, Texas Hold'em, because there's like the 2 cards that are put down, that's the public cards, and you have the 1 card in your hand that you play your poker hand with. This is a neat one, definitely. We've played it a few times throughout the month, and it's well received. Then for number 4 is Legendary James Bond. So Legendary is a deck building game. It's a neat one. It comes with a neoprene mat that you play on, and as you play each turn, you reveal a villain, and they kind of creep down the villain play area. But if they ever escape, then the villain got away, and you're starting to lose your mission. There's different things depending on the scenario that you play that you need to accomplish in order to complete your mission and win the game. And each mission kind of follows a different James Bond movie, so that's pretty neat. And they play fairly differently. It changes the gameplay quite a bit, so I really enjoy that one. And then looking at number 3 is Aeon's End. And Aeon's End is a game that I just purchased this past month as well. And it's also a deck building game. It's a cooperative deck building game, kind of like Legendary, where you're defeating monsters and trying to protect your village. And this one, I was really surprised at how much I enjoyed it. It was neat. And you have those areas at the top that you're trying to unlock in order to be able to do extra abilities and going through your card. I'm going to have to play this one again because it's a little fuzzy now, but I remember playing this and being so super impressed at how great it was. You got the big boss monster you're trying to attack, but you got these little smaller monsters that gets in the way, or different things that's going to be happening as well. You have special abilities you can activate, and it's a great one. And you can play as different players, so different ways of, or different abilities that you can have as each players that you play as. Definitely, I would recommend this one. It was, well, obviously it's my number 3. So it was so good. So good. I can't wait to play this one again. And so far I've only played it the one time. So we'll see. Probably it's only going to get better, I would say. Now let's look at number 2. Number 2 is Mystic Vale. Mystic Vale is a winner for me, and we've played this one lots. And I really have a theme going on here with deck building. Now, Mystic Vale technically is not a deck builder. It's a card crafting game. So you start with 20 cards, you'll end up with 20 cards, and as you go along, There's a strong push your luck element. You flip cards until you show 3 decay, and it's up to you whether you want to try to push. But if you show a 4th one, then you bust and you don't actually get to accomplish anything that round. But if you stop, then whatever you have exposed for the blue gems, I guess, are giving you your buying power, and you can buy these see-through cards that you'll add to your existing cards, which are actually sleeved. So you would have one thing on your card, and as you add stuff to it, they'll become more powerful. They have more things they can do. It's a neat one. It looks neat to play. The see-through, sliding through the sleeve is such a cool concept. It's definitely a winner in our household. And then for number 1 is Legendary Encounters Alien. Another deck builder. So definitely is a theme this month. But so I played Legendary Encounters, the Alien game, quite a few years ago. And actually at the time, I had never watched the Alien movies. But I remember being so impressed with this game, and it was so good. And then me, my stepson, and my spouse, we watched all the Alien series and the Predator series, and I was like, okay, hold on, that game was even better than I thought. So I arranged to borrow a copy. This is a borrowed copy, and we've played it quite a few times, and it's so thematic. The way that they've created it is so cool. So just like the James Bond Legendary game, you have cards that'll kind of get revealed and pushed down the hatch, I guess. But with this one, you need to scan the room in order to see what's there. And then when you scan the room, you'll reveal the card, and it can be different things. One thing that I like that's so thematic to the movie is you can come across a face hugger. Then if you come across a face hugger, it comes next to your player, and that's going to remain in place unless you're able to destroy because before your turn comes around. And if you can't, that face hugger card is going to become a chest burster card that goes in your discard cards. And then when you finish your deck, then that discard cards get shuffled into it. You know at some point this chest burster is going to come out and your character is going to die. Which is so thematic to the movie because you know you have this alien inside you, and if it comes out, you get killed in the process. Very neat. Such a fun game. Again, with this one, you can play the different scenarios following the different Aliens movies. I found it plays kind of fairly similar between movies to movies, but definitely kind of changes and tweaks the things a little bit. And your missions are a little bit different following the movie as well. So obviously, amazing game. If you've watched the movies and you've enjoyed them, you'll love this one for sure. And that was it for the month of June. Those are my top 9 games that I've played during the month of June. If you want to follow me on Facebook, my Facebook page is Disbury, and Area is playing all the games. On Instagram, I am, I don't know why I put Disbury Mama there, but it's boardgame_mama. Typo, whoops. And then I also have my YouTube channel, which is Board Game Mama. All right, so stay tuned. We'll see what I end up playing. That was my favorite for the month of July. We're still just mid-July now, so I still don't know, but I did have my mini Malcon, so got to play lots of games already. So far, July's turning out to be pretty good. So let me know what you've played during the month of June and which one you've preferred as well. Take care, everybody.